Hello there. This is where the fun begins.
Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and well, did you see this massive Easter egg in The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Let's go ahead and hop right on into it. Of course, it should go without saying that yes, there are spoilers ahead to The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, titled The Apostate, so if you haven't already seen it, go check it out. What are you doing? It's absolutely amazing. I also briefly mentioned this in our full-length breakdown video for Episode 1, Season 3 of The Mandalorian here on the channel, available now. However, I didn't really get all that much of the chance to really go more in depth on into this huge Easter egg that we saw here and what this really means for the future of not just the third season of The Mandalorian, but also really the forever expanding Mandoverse here, all the different shows that we're going to be getting here in the coming years. And so to really give you guys the full rundown of this massive Easter egg, we're going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As they read, a massive Easter egg for Star Wars Rebels was included in the first episode of The Mandalorian Season 3. The Mandalorian is officially back on Disney+. Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin and Grogu were reunited in the Book of Boba Fett and are now off on their next adventure. And while The Mandalorian is the most popular Star Wars series on the streaming platform, the importance of Star Wars Rebels, the animated show, can't be overlooked. It not only introduces fans to a new group of characters when it first came out, but also sets up the entire premise of the upcoming Ahsoka series that will be later released this year on Disney+, connected to the Mandoverse with the Mandalorian seasons and also the Book of Boba Fett, and also Star Wars Skeleton Crew, another Mandoverse show that's currently being worked on now. However, with many different recent Star Wars projects have now connected in some way to Star Wars Rebels, this isn't necessarily the first time. However, Season 3 of The Mandalorian wasted no time paying homage to the series while also providing the ultimate tease and Easter egg for many Star Wars Rebel fans out there. Season 3 of The Mandalorian opened with a literal bang as Din Djarin and Grogu flew in to save the Mandalorian covert from a giant sea monster, something crocodile and turtle-like, I'm not really sure. After talking to the armorer and departing from the planet, the next scene featured Din and Grogu traveling through hyperspace. Din was taking the time to get some rest, but Grogu seemed fascinated with the concept of the swirly blue effect produced by traveling so fast. And as Grogu was peering out of his little bubble window, a massive silhouette appeared out of nowhere in the wall of the hyperspace lane, traveling the same speed as the ship in hyperspace. A few seconds later, the other shadows came into view that had some form of a Purrgil. These creatures are space animals that were introduced in Star Wars Rebels that have the natural ability to travel through hyperspace, much like a ship would in the universe. They're essentially giant space whales. And for comparison, any and all ships that travel through hyperspace have to have a hyperdrive installed, but these creatures were born with the ability. What is most notable about the Purrgil, however, is the connection that Ezra Bridger made with them in Star Wars Rebels when he used the Force ability to be able to communicate with these animals. What's really most important about these creatures, however, is at the end of the Star Wars Rebels show, this mysterious species came to Ezra's aid during the battle on Lothal, and they are the same creatures that carried both Ezra Bridger and Grand Admiral Thrawn through hyperspace deep into the unknown regions of the galaxy towards the end of the show. So showing the Purrgil in live action for the first time not only serves as a callback and an Easter egg to Star Wars Rebels, but it is yet another piece that is bridging the gap between the animated series and live action, with The Mandalorian and the upcoming Ahsoka series coming out after The Mandalorian Season 3 later this year. It has also been confirmed that Ahsoka will feature most of the Ghost Crew as they search for Ezra and Thrawn in hopes to bring their comrade and friend back home. That there is really the main premise and understanding of what we're going to be seeing in the Ahsoka show, and there will probably be some type of bottle cap episode of featuring Ahsoka, and maybe even introducing some of the characters from the Ghost Crew in live action in The Mandalorian Season 3. However, time will only tell, really. And as we also know, Ahsoka made her first live action debut in Season 2 of The Mandalorian, where it was revealed she was in search of any information on the whereabouts of Grand Admiral Thrawn. It has not been confirmed if Ahsoka will appear in Season 3, and of course only time will tell, as I had mentioned, but I'm definitely counting on it. But even in her absence, the series is taking the necessary steps of connecting all of these different shows, with The Mandalorian, the Ahsoka show, and Star Wars Rebels. The hyperspace scene itself was relatively short, but it was just proved that this universe that Favreau and Filoni are building is really all truly interconnected. And at the same time, it also continues to merge parts of the animated series into live action and really begin to merge those two things together. I'm really beginning to wonder, however, as we continue to see more and more of these animated characters make their way into live action, when will we see these live action characters make their way into animation? Maybe in the Bad Batch animated show, or maybe an entirely different animated show, such as Luke Skywalker or Din Djarin. Once again, I think the answer for that, for the time being, is that only time will really tell. At the end of the day, it seems to be more and more apparent that The Mandalorian is becoming the true center of the galaxy far, far away. The characters has already formed ties with characters such as Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, Cad Bane, Ahsoka, and so many more. This scene could very well be the only Ahsoka/Star Wars Rebels connection in the entirety of this season, but if that is the case, then it's already really enough, especially for myself. It simply acknowledges the other past, present, and future stories that are out there and shows that they are all a part of the same universe. And from there, that is where the article concludes, and as I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, I have this full article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. I really think that our main takeaway here from this overall video, for one thing, and this article here for another thing, is that the Purgles are simply acknowledged, as I had mentioned before, and I think that's honestly a huge thing. That's a huge step, showing them in live action and where they're going to be seen next, hopefully, and also kind of furthermore connecting those ties of Ezra Bridger and Thrawn, as those are very prominent and main characters in the Star Wars Rebels animated show. Ezra Bridger, of course, is the main character of that show, for crying out loud. So to see him also being the main quest of Ahsoka, as we have known not only from The Mandalorian Season 2, but also as we found out in the book of Boba Fett, is that that's still her mission, to go ahead and find her friend, and also in search of Thrawn at the same time, to put him to rest with what other, I guess, capabilities he might want to bring harm-wise to the galaxy. So I really believe to see those things kind of all interconnect there is something that's very, very big, and I can't wait to see where it goes with that. So in all other senses, the Purgles, I mean, without Ezra and Thrawn having their connections as seen in Star Wars Rebels, they're just simply cool. They're giant space whales that can travel really, really fast, but seeing that the connection that we saw with them in the animated show, that makes them, seeing them in live action, that makes them so much more important. Of course, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What are you looking forward to seeing most with The Mandalorian Season 3, the overall Mandoverse here, as well as it continues to grow bigger and bigger, with not just more seasons of The Mandalorian, but also more shows, the Mandoverse, as they all are kind of interweaved and interconnected there. I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.